All right, guys, I am pleased to introduce you today to Jessie Brelsford. She is the founder of Taste Buds Kitchen. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, Lisa, thanks so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think so far, most interesting thing is twin 3-year-olds. Very cool. And a 6-year-old. Don't forget the
Yes,
6-year-old.
yes. I
Very
think my
cool.
baby is 17, which is Taste Buds Kitchen. So I've been doing this for 17 years, but my husband and our actual children, two twin 3-year-olds, a boy and a girl, and a 6-year-old boy. So life is robust and full in all those great ways.
That's awesome. And it's funny, it'll be interesting. We actually had to move this because she had a morning breakfast thing and with the
Yeah,
kids.
Thanksgiving. Preschool Thanksgiving is a serious thing. You cannot miss the Thanksgiving fest for the 3-year-olds. And the kids like made the mashed potatoes in class this morning, and it was a whole thing. So yes, thank
Oh,
you for being
that's so
flexible.
cool. Yeah, absolutely. And I think like we talked about the fact that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur.
Yes, yes, it
But
is. That's
that's
why
what
you
they
do it.
don't always put in the brochures, but we get to choose. We get that lifestyle choices with our time. So I love that. So,
Me
all
too. Me too.
right. So tell us, I mean, I think one of the coolest thing about Taste Buds is that you have been around for so long. First, I guess, what is Taste Buds Kitchen? Let's start there.
Yeah, sure. Great question. So Taste Buds Kitchen, we are 2,000 square feet, brick and mortar, beautiful kitchen. You walk in, and we're doing cooking classes, camps, birthday parties, adult BYOB classes, corporate event. So having fun cooking, ages 2 to 99. We make the kitchen fun, and we do it all
Okay.
from scratch. So from sushi to pasta to cupcakes. Every menu is different. You are mix measuring and stirring to make the recipe of the menu that you've selected. Our menus are always nut free, and we have a good number that are gluten free or dairy free or egg free, depending on different allergies and dietary restrictions. And it's just a really fun atmosphere. We don't sell food, we don't cater food. It's not like a restaurant, but it's again this beautiful space. All of our locations have great websites where you'll see our schedule so you can sign up for summer camp, book a
Oh,
birthday
okay,
party,
cool.
and then for private events, you can reserve the kitchen just for you and your group.
Oh, that is so awesome. I love that. So question, do you schedule the recipes or do you like come up with the recipes and what that is? And does franchise owner, if they are creative, like do they have any
Yeah,
flexibility there? Or do you say,
yeah.
no, let's just stick with taste buds? We
Great
got this.
question. So we have currently about 300 recipes in our roster. So we've got a lot to choose from.
Okay.
We'll give you a suggested schedule for the month. This is like a good rotation and how often to run things. You're welcome to pivot and say, hey, this menu does really well here, so I'm going to run it 3 times instead of 2. So you're able to kind of mix and match to make
Oh,
the menu
sure.
just what you want. But yeah, you do have to run our approved content because we've timed it, right? So the recipes are not just delicious, but they work with the age of the client that's coming. And they're kind of fairly foolproof. You're not going to have, the cupcakes are going to rise. Pizza's going to be cooked on time. We have it all timed
Okay.
out. But we do have, for those people who love food and want to get involved, we have ways to kind of give back and be part of committees that are deciding on recipes that will be developed and menus that will launch in the future as well.
All right.
But it's definitely worth saying you don't have to be a chef. You don't have to have been to culinary school. I think in our current franchise group, we have one person that has been, but it's not a requirement. Really, it's not
Okay.
something that is even preferred because, like I said, we're going to teach you how to do this. We want the business
Right.
acumen and, a retired or a retiring, someone exiting the corporate grind that wants to put their business acumen to work in a different way is who really we're going after for our franchisees.
I love that. So it's funny because that might be the first thing when I talk about it. Well, I
All
don't
the
know.
time. Do I have to
Right.
know how to cook? Yeah.
Right. Holy cow, I'm gonna teach other people how to cook. I can barely
Yes.
get pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all right, very cool. So, on that note, then, who are you looking for even deeper in an owner? So, if you could say, here's a great background of an owner in our system, who are you looking for? And who do
Yeah,
I
I
look
think it's a great question. So, two answers to that. I guess one thing I'll say is no two franchisees are alike, and I love that too, right? We
at?
definitely have who we're looking for, but it's more about the person than their past experiences, right? So
Okay.
in our current system, we have, past HR professionals, marketing executives. We have a woman that ran a soup kitchen. We have, someone
Oh,
that did regional merchandising for Home Depot, software sales. So huge range of backgrounds, and they can all be
okay.
successful at this. What we're looking for is generally exiting corporate America, you have a business acumen, right? You just generally
Yeah.
get the premise of how business works. You
Yeah.
want to be engaged in this business, right? You're doing this because you want to be a part of your community. Generally, all of our franchisees have children, either toddlers, high schoolers, or grown children and grandchildren, right? But family
Okay.
units.
Mhm.
You want to be engaged in the business. So that's really what we're looking for. And people that want to follow the system, be committed to their success, and we'll help you do it, right? So we're giving you a business in a box, but of course, no business is easy. You have to put your effort into it. But you're going to be building a great small business team, right? You're going to have a great
Okay.
local team, and you're going to be out and about in your community doing that grassroots marketing.
Okay. Yeah, and that was my next question. So are the owners teaching classes? Is it only if they want to, or is it to
Yeah,
really be a
they
successful owner, you need to
Yes,
teach a
great
couple?
question. So generally, you will know how to as an owner, but
Okay.
you won't do it very often if you've built your team correctly. And that's
Okay.
generally it, right? Like you will need and want to hire a general manager. If you think of a general manager, it's a little misleading. It's really your lead instructor, right? But it's
Okay.
the one
Yeah.
person, your key person that's going to be going to the grocery store, doing shopping for you,
Oh,
teaching a lot
sure.
of the classes, hiring their assistants, right? Helping to run the kitchen day to day. So you,
Okay.
the franchisee, can steer the ship, right? You're the one out there doing the community marketing outreach, talking to people about the business, making sure
All
you're
right.
getting the bookings, talking to our ad agency partner to make sure your marketing campaigns are performing well.
All right.
So that's really what we're looking for, because we are looking for ideally empire builders, people who want to do one location, but want to go on to do 2 or do 3, right? People who really are
Okay.
able to build a legacy for their families, for themselves. We of course have plenty that want to do 1, and that's perfectly fine too. But we do want to open 200 locations in the next 5 years, and we would
Okay.
love to do it with 75 franchisees, right?
Okay.
Because
Well, that
once
makes
you learn the model, doing it again and again, it becomes easier each time, right? And you have a team, and scalability is so great. Again, love the ones. That's totally fine if this is your dream and you
right.
have one kitchen. But we love people that really wanna grow the system for themselves, and we call them empire builders.
All right, love it. So how many, and I'm kind of going to peek at your item 7.
Sure.
So general investment, I'm showing 382 to 531. I mean, you're building basically is it a commercial kitchen? Is that what I would call that?
So we call it a kitchen studio. It's more of an event
Okay.
space than a commercial kitchen. So
Okay.
2,000 square feet, general in line, right? You might have a massage envy and taste buds kitchen, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So good space. You'll walk in, you're in the kitchen itself. It's this beautiful kitchen. Nothing that you see is heavy or commercial. It's often
Okay.
beautiful. So adults are like, oh my gosh, I wish this were my kitchen. Kids are just like itching with excited, want to touch all the bright colored bowls and apple shaped cutting boards that
Okay.
we
Got
have
it.
for them
Got
and
it.
things
Love
like
it.
that. Yes. So big, beautiful space, and it's very flexible. So whether we had a couple get engaged at Taste Buds Kitchen, one of our locations last week. So
Aw.
whether you're, adult coming in for a date night, a corporate team building event, or you're coming in for a 5-year-old's birthday party, the kitchen is set up just for you in terms of the number of
Okay.
tables, and the tables adjust. It's a very flexible environment to create this beautiful space.
Okay, so I want to get a bunch of girlfriends together and we're going to go learn how to make sushi, right? So how many of us can fit in the kitchen? How big are those
So
groups?
all of our locations for adults go up to at least 36, and we do have some that will go up to 48.
Wow, holy smokes, one
Yeah.
group. I don't even think I
Uh-huh.
have any friends.
Yeah. So that's adult
Oh,
private events are generally like 10, 12, 15, but it's
okay.
uncommon corporate events, especially, or like a 30th birthday party, you can easily get 30 people in there.
Wow,
Yes.
okay. That's really cool. I guess I wasn't expecting, I thought you were going to say maybe 12,
No,
maybe.
and that's what's different about Taste Buds Kitchen. Definitely there's, mom and pops entities doing cooking around, but we're masters of scale. Like we know how to do this well. We know how to do it intimately for 2 people. We know how to do it for 36, 48 people, depending on the location. And they all have that same great experience. So a lot
Okay.
of cooking is passion and art, and we have that, but we also have the system and science behind it so that we're able
Okay.
to do this really efficiently.
Okay, very cool. I'm thinking Ben and Cece would love this. All right, right? My adult just got married kids.
Love that. You would go with
They
them,
would
right?
love
You'd be at a table together, right? So we have grown kids and their grown parents coming and cooking together in some of our
that.
adult classes.
Okay.
Or they could go, right, as a date night or something fun.
All right. And I want to say like ding, 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 yay on your item 19. I'm looking at this
Thank
right now.
you.
I'll flash it on the screen. Like thank you for being very transparent
Thank
with,
you.
it's P&Ls, you guys. This is, I know my pay grade isn't enough to shout to the rooftops to all franchisors, but this is what I would ask for if I could go to the franchisors and say, what is one thing that will help? It's always
I love that.
give
Yes.
us an item 19 that people can actually use to put together their business plan.
Yeah,
So,
and that was my goal because I've been franchising for 10 years, at this for 17. And when I first franchised, I didn't have anything for item 19. We didn't have any franchisees open. But as we've grown, I majored in economics. I went to Harvard. Like the data points are so essential to me if I were deciding. And I like to be as transparent as we can about our locations, right? How are they performing? Give you averages, high lows, things like that, so that you can help
yeah.
make an informed decision.
Well, I mean, I think something to point out, guys, it goes down to net operating margin, which usually in franchising, I have huge conversations around the fact that the only way you're going to get to the net is that you need to talk to the other franchisees. And we for sure are going to want them to talk to your franchisees, but this is
Sure.
one of the rare item 19s that we've seen that gives you a net operating income. Like,
Well,
thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, no, I feel really good about where we were ending up last year for 2024. Our AUV is 741 and
Yeah,
enterprise 31% and 229,000. So it's a good business. It's a really good
it
business
is
to
a
run.
good business.
Yeah, and we love validation too. Anyone interested in a Taste Buds Kitchen, going through our development director, but we do weekly validation calls so that you're able to do group calls to talk to our franchisees about their experiences too. Yeah, so we would like to be as transparent as we can. It's a big decision for us and for a candidate, right? We're getting married for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's a partnership and, renewals after that. So you want to make sure you're really doing your research and know as much as you can before making a big decision.
Yeah, thank you. Just, I know it sounds cheesy, but like, thank you for doing it right. It makes my job easier too
You're
when I'm talking to
welcome.
people. Now I
Yes.
can use yours as an example when I'm starting to explain what is an FDD. Like, this is a really good one.
Oh, good. Thank you. We worked hard on it.
Thank you. So tell me and I know this is always a tricky question, but like, what is the headache in this one? What are the like, from an owner
Yeah.
perspective? Like, is it hard? Is the marketing? Is it the what are the owners most likely to go, oh, I wasn't expecting that to be a pain point in the business. And again, I know that's tough, but I
Yeah.
think there's always something, right? Business
Yeah,
is,
for sure.
if it were
Yeah,
easy,
I'll start by
everyone
what
would
I
do it.
think is the really good stuff, and that'll probably lead into a challenge if I could think of one. So it's an easy business to market. It's like kids cooking, adults cooking, right? So the
Right.
pictures sell themselves, the videos, it's easy to talk about, it's natural, it's fun, it's entertaining.
Okay.
So for all those things, it's like the easiest thing to talk about, right? And the marketing
Right.
can change. Or if you're marketing this versus something quite boring, it stands out, it pops. So I don't think that's a pain point. We know how to do this.
Right.
If anything, I think our multiple revenue streams are our biggest asset, but it can be a challenge. So we have 5 different revenue streams coming in. We're doing corporate events and you're marketing to companies, right? So B2B. We have
Okay.
kids' birthday parties. We have summer camps. We have the adult parties, right? So 30th, 50th,
Okay.
birthday, adult classes. So we've got multiple revenue streams, which is what makes our item 19 and our sales so strong.
Beautiful.
But
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
like, 4 different businesses that you're learning how to run. So I think
Okay.
that's an initial thing. It's just a lot to learn.
Okay. Got
Once
it.
you've been through a few months, you kind of get how this all works, and then it becomes,
Yep.
you blink and it's not a problem. Um,
Sure.
so that's a strength, and then, just something to conquer, which I think is very
Yeah.
conquerable, and you
That's
want
awesome. I
to
mean,
conquer
that's
it.
a good conversation. I think for those of you that are watching, it does become almost a yin yang, right? So I want multiple revenue streams and I want something that's, I can push one lever and it's gonna get better. And if that's not going great, I can push another
Right.
lever.
Yes.
But with that comes complexity.
You've got to learn each
You're
lever.
not a one-trick pony.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
So I think it's insulating for us, and it's, yeah, definitely a good basis. That's something to learn for sure.
okay. And so where does most of the revenue for the business come from? What is the one kind of thing where you're like, start here, start with that base because you're going to get super comfortable in that lane and then you're going to add on, or is it truly just
It's
everything?
pretty equal between our 4 pillars, and we have this in
Okay.
19 as well, but you have camp. So for kids, the big 2 things are camps, school
Okay.
holiday and summer. So about a third of the days a year, you're running kids camps.
Okay.
Kids birthday parties. Those are our 2 big kids ones. And in the adult space, it's the adult classes, date nights. as
Okay.
number one, and then corporate and private parties. So those are the four big guys we all start with. Everyone does them really well. They make
Okay.
up close to 90% of our sales, right? So those
Oh,
are the
wow.
four big guys. And then you sprinkle in some kids classes, field trips, fun things like that, really good entry points.
Okay.
It's not too complex because we've been efficient. Every of these programs runs the same way. They're just different ages, right? So the knives are different, or the table's different, or that kind of different. I call them washer settings. You make your settings for the group, and then you roll it out and you teach a great event. But they're all following the same event map, and the same fun aspects makes them unique for our clients.
What a cool business. I'm so glad we had this talk. I absolutely love
Thanks.
it. It's
Me too.
really like
Yes.
I guess I wasn't necessarily thinking of it as multiple income streams. You know,
Right, because a lot of places are just gonna be like kids cooking and quite small, or to your point,
right.
adult cooking and like 12 people, and they do, every Friday night. But we're like, and it's in our item team as well, item 19, the average location did 13 events a week in 2023. So like,
Okay.
but there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And
Right.
the average
Right.
event size was 19 people. So of course we have a private date night of 2. We also have a corporate team building of 36, a summer camp of 28 kids. So it's a big business to run, in all the fun ways.
Okay, very cool. So owners getting into the business, are you looking for people that are going to want to spend 40 hours, 60 hours a week hustling in this business? Are you okay with someone that comes in possibly with a manager, head instructor in place? What
Yeah,
kind of
what do we want?
time devotion?
So I really don't want someone that's going to spend 40 to 60 hours a week for too long, because we want people that want to scale, and we want
Okay.
people that want a good lifestyle, right?
Okay.
It would be not good for me for you to be your own general manager. So we do require a general manager.
Okay.
Because we don't want our franchisees teaching all the classes. You can't, if you want to be a teacher, you don't open a school, right? Because you
Okay.
can't run the school. So
Right.
we if you have a love for it and you want to do it once a month to stay fresh, or you're going to be the cover if your general manager is sick, absolutely, right? We want our franchisees to be passionate about it. We want you to know how to do it. But
All
you're going to
right.
bring that general manager, lead instructor to training. We're going to train you both together. We're going to come to you
Okay.
when you open so you feel really prepared. So that engaged owner piece is really the essential part of it. The hours that they have to give to it is a little bit flexible. Like, we don't want, I don't, semi-absentee. I don't like that term. To me, it's an engaged owner, no matter the time spent on it. Most
Right.
of our owners do this as their, quote unquote, full-time job. Whether full-time for them is 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week is going to be up to them. And some own other businesses, but this is their focus, right? For sure. It's definitely something that they're passionate about. We have a lot of our franchisees opening second units, looking at third units. So that's been really fun. But I would say that's what we're looking for. So if you want to teach the classes, probably not the best fit for you. But if you want to
Okay.
be passionate about them, be around them. That's what I always say. Like, to be the face of the business, if you teach a class, you're in the kitchen for 5 hours, right? You set it up, you teach it, you clean it up.
Okay.
You're the franchisee, you can come out at the start of it and meet all your clients and say hello and make sure everyone's happy, and then go back in the office or go home and do the things you need to do with the rest of them.
Right.
So to really have the time to run the business and make it, as we want you to be as successful as you can be. You want you to be as successful as you can be, not just from a lifestyle perspective, but from a dollars and cents perspective. You need the time to do those strategy and tweaks.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
You're
If you
welcome.
guys want more information, of course, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to make the connection and, talk about the business model for sure. I'm going to dive all over that item 19 because yay, Jesse
I'm
wins.
so glad. Yes, no, I'm so glad.
So, or reach out to Taste Bud Kitchen. Just tell them that you saw this. I like to know who's watching out there in YouTube land, right? All right. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you for watching. If you're ready to take the next step, Integrity Franchise Group is here to help. Click the link below or reach out to us today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to solve that franchise puzzle and turn your business dreams into reality. We cannot wait to connect with you.